Is this thing on?
I believe so. It does hurt when you touch it.
Yeah, because if this thing records the wrong input again, I'm gonna have to...
Hello and welcome to Season 3, Episode 2 of the Fortnightly Frontier, featuring your hosts, Dianator and Meyer. This episode,
I'm the Dianator, he's the Meyer.
I hadn't finished the intro yet, damn it. But yes, he is Dianator and I am Meyer.
Well, to continue.
Well, I don't know what we're going to talk about, so I was going to just draw a blank and go, this episode we talk about absolutely nothing, because I don't know what we're talking about.
Well, what's happened since the last episode? We got the Vanguard.
Oh yeah, we got the Vanguard, that's what happened since last episode. Okay.
And that's about it.
Oh yeah, in the past, yes. We had the Vanguard.
We have the Vanguard. I'm so close to being able to rent it.
Oh yeah.
I only need about 6,000 rec.
Oh yeah.
It's out of the
awesome
25,000 that you need.
Yeah.
I've been racing with the Avenger.
Racing.
Hey, I actually managed to get a sub 1 minute time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How many?
And that was with all the junk still stuck to the ship.
Okay.
And then I realized if I pull everything off, the top speed is actually 420.
420.
Blaze it.
Blaze it, literally. Wow, that's crazy.
Blaze the competition with the new lightweight Avenger Superleggera.
Yeah, you're one of the crazy people who like to race Avengers in Old Vanderbilt. No. I
have been winning and coming second and third.
It's disgustingly enough. It's faster than the M50. It's faster.
In a straight line, but not around corners because it's quite a pig.
Yeah. It's very clunky, but it's still faster, and that really irritates me, especially in dogfights and stuff. You're in your M50, you're like, I'm in a racing ship. Pew pew, I'm gonna spin around you, and then like before you kill them, they just like turn one way, and then they end up other side of the map. You cannot chase them because you're slower. It's frustrating.
It's like the M50 is, let's say, a Porsche Boxster, lightweight, perfectly balanced, nimble. And the Avenger is like an Audi RS6. Heavy, cumbersome, but it has 3 times the power. Something like that. And just goes. But around corners, can't really match up.
Yeah.
Okay, now that we've lost everybody,
yeah,
willing to listen to us, let's talk about fun things.
Okay. Fun things such as...
Drawing a blank.
Well, we can talk about how we did stuff in the Avenger. I mean, like, not the Avenger, the Vanguard.
The Vanguard, yeah.
Yeah, we did some 2-player missions and stuff. That was pretty cool.
It's slightly buggy, though, because it doesn't automatically complete the missions for both people.
Yeah, I mean, they still need to work on things like that. I mean, I hope that things like that will get sorted out when they sort out the party system and stuff properly.
Yes. If you have like an actual party in Port All-Star, it will automatically detect that these 2 people are doing the same mission, so it completes it for them.
Yeah.
Although it would have to be sort of done properly if they are in the same sort of area of space.
Yeah,
like,
it works.
You can't have one person doing one mission, the other person doing the other mission, but still being in a party and automatically doing both missions for both people.
Yeah.
That would be a bit stupid.
It would be interesting to see how they do fix that, because that's totally... Because, the Crusader area is really big, but at the same time, there's only a very finite list of things to do. I mean, or with let's say doing the comma rays and stuff like that, at the moment, if you're not in a group with somebody or you don't even know somebody is around the comma ray and they activate it, then it still does that part of the mission for you, you know.
But not every time, like
not every time? Well, you had to be close enough.
Well, I was in the ship. You were in the comma ray. I was literally parked outside of it, and it didn't complete the mission for me.
Yeah, no, completing the missions, no, but like actually like liberating the comma ray and pressing the button.
Oh yeah, I'd have to go out and press the button.
Yeah,
as well.
When you press the button, it worked for me. I didn't go out once when we were doing the mission together.
Yeah, because you were doing the buttons. I stay behind, and the missions didn't complete for me. That's what I'm talking about. It
No,
doesn't do it every time.
That part didn't work for you.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
but doing the actual comma raises worked for both of us. But it works for, everybody regardless.
Oh, well, yes, we need the party system.
We do.
Yeah. How can we have a good party without a party system? Who will order the pizza and the beer?
Yeah.
Speaking of food, you also want to do some of the challenges that people have been coming up.
Challenges, yeah. We need to do
like
the Bennies challenge, right?
Yeah, the Bennies challenge, yeah.
Yeah. I've seen a couple other challenges as well, but the Bennies challenge seems to be the biggest one. I tried to do
How does that even work, by the way? Can you push the thing, or do you need to shoot it to propel it?
I believe you can push it, but it's client side. So like, if you see the Bennies thing, it's floating in space, and it might be in the same space for two people if they both see and it's never been touched before on either client. But as soon as you shoot it or move it, it only moves for the person who shot it. The other person just sees the Bennies box where it is. So if you want to do it at the same time, yeah, it gets really, really weird. But
yeah, so we would both have to be doing it and then have to, but, and then have to talk to each other. Yeah, I'm my side of the vending machine is on the ship. How are you doing?
Yeah, so like you wouldn't be able to do two people's mission at the same time, you know. But you could probably take a screenshot of two people saying these two people helped, and saying that we collaboratively did it. But you would only see the Bennies machine on the one client.
That's a bit weird. Because everything else is sort of server side, but why would that vending machine be client side?
I guess
is it for optimization?
I would assume so, because it's the same way. I mean, like the tiny asteroids in Arena Commander, they're only client side as well. When you shoot and blow one up, like it only blows up on your client.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose if you were tracking every little asteroid for every client, the amount of data going back and forth would be just no.
Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, they're going to have to do something about that, because what about when you're freighting cargo and stuff in the verse?
Well, cargo I think is going to be different, because cargo is actual cargo.
Yeah, but it's still like going to be a rendered object in the verse that's going to have to float in space when you blow up somebody's ship, or at least fragments of it.
I think that for optimization purposes, that as soon as you have cargo on the ship, the code of the ship becomes like Constellation plus 500 kilos of dildos or something like that.
Okay.
And as soon as something happens to the colony, like it blows up, and so the cargo detaches, only then it starts being an actual object.
Okay.
But until then, while it's in a cargo hold, it's sort of only rendered client side, because the server is telling you that the cargo hold contains this cargo.
Okay.
Something like that. Maybe I mean that's how I do it, but
right.
I'm really not a game developer, so.
Because all that's going to have to come into play when you can like scan people's ships and see exactly what's in their cargo hold and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like that's why some ships, if you look at the ship descriptions, for instance, one of the Constellation variants, it's marketed as having like a cubby hole or something above the bridge, where like you can store stuff, and if you store it there, I don't know, maybe it's made of like super space lead or something, then that stuff that you keep up there won't be able to be seen by scanners. So like somebody will have to go inside and see exactly what's in there.
That's interesting. But yeah, there's actually a good point. How are they going to sort out the whole thing about cargo being an object that you have to track between all the clients that need to know about it?
Yeah. I'd like to see. I mean, like I say over and over again, like I know nothing when it comes to programming and netcode and stuff like that. So all I can do is speculate like a layman. But would it be that difficult? Do you reckon?
Well, if you actually made it, if you made cargo to be an instance all the time, then yeah, because you'll have to track like millions of cargo items all the time. But if you made it so it's only like a procedural cargo,
Right.
once while it's quote unquote docked to a particular cargo hold or like a storage area. What?
So somebody in chat was like, "Oh my God, Maya, your cat plushie thing." So I was like, "Oh, that thing." I didn't mean to stop your train of thought there. I was just like, I apologize.
Apology accepted. But yeah, because I think that's something that's similar to what they would need to do when the cargo is quote unquote attached or docked to a ship. Then it would need to be reverted to just a value. The microphone. Shut up. But if it's free floating, then only then does it become its own entity.
Yeah.
Because then you don't need to track the constellation, this piece of cargo, this piece of cargo, this piece of cargo, this piece of cargo separately with its own coordinates and speed and everything. You just go Connie plus cargo and group that as its one entity.
Yeah.
And only then apply all the data that's being tracked between clients.
Okay, I imagine that the way they'll do cargo is that when you do have cargo in your ship, it'll be in like a generic pallet of a generic size. And then that pallet will have an item code or something attached to it, so that, your item that has an item code on the server will then say, I am in this, crate 1. And then you have to move crate 1 into your ship, and crate 1 will have a fixed size. Once it's in the ship and, you've tied it down to the ship, then it'll just become another part of the ship. Like, you won't be able to move it.
Yeah, exactly. Although, from... from all the tech demos that you see, if you go to Star Citizen's Vimeo site, there's a lot of kind of clips of work in progress stuff.
Okay.
And they showed the grabby hands stuff.
Oh yeah.
And you just grab something, put it on the ship, and it snaps to the ship.
Yeah.
And it's there. And I think that then it becomes a part of the ship. It's not ship and item being rendered side by side.
Okay.
However, they did say that stuff that's not tied down to a ship is going to be its own object, because it's going to be affected by G-forces, and when your ship gets hit by missiles, it's going to start flying all over the place. So how the hell are they going to do that?
Yeah, with difficulty, I assume.
With great difficulty.
With great difficulty. I mean, I don't want to speculate and stuff like that, because it's gonna be a massive undertaking. If every single item is going to have to be, controlled by the server, and the server is gonna have to point out where everything is. I mean, in games like Counter-Strike, when you throw a gun, that gun is being thrown and everybody can see where it is. I guess that same way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know, but it's still with hundreds and thousands of players and hundreds of thousands of ships, each ship having several items, that gets the numbers start getting really high.
Yeah. So I don't know. I do not know how they do it. I mean, will they do it so that the server will choose the captain?
Can they even do it?
I don't know. Would it be like the server chooses the captain of a multi-crew ship to be like the local host? And then anything that local host sees is law. So would it be able to delegate different? I don't know how netcode works. Yeah.
Well, currently we know it doesn't work because it keeps bringing FPS down.
Yeah. I mean,
there's still quite a bit of
one small thing that I've seen that's been big for me is the rings of Port Olisar, and Crusader as it rotates around. A couple patches ago, when it was rotating, because we're in Europe and stuff like that, as it rotates, it would jank every 5-10 seconds back to...
Yeah. Well, it depends on how loaded the server is.
Yeah, it does not do that anymore.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't do it anymore. So I think maybe now those rings are client side instead of server side as
Right. Okay.
Yeah, because it doesn't do that anymore.
So they're just given a rotation speed and starting position when you log in, and then your client side basically just dictates where. How
I
it's
suppose
rotated.
so, because it does not jank anymore, and that happened only after the latest hotfix.
Or they actually managed to get the node code up to a sort of level where that's not happening anymore.
Maybe.
Because you still have to make sure that the struts of those rings are in the same position, otherwise...
When you fly through them,
When you fly through it, you can crash into them, but you can still fly through where there is no struts.
Yeah. Time will tell.
Time will tell, yeah. But you can see why no game has attempted to do something like this before, because it's really difficult to do.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be a code developer. I really feel sorry for Mark Abend and other coders. Especially because I can't code. I really can't code. I've been trying. I've been trying to teach myself for the past 15 years to code, because I have ideas for websites and applications and mobile apps and stuff like that. I can make them pretty. That's easy. I have Photoshop in my pinky finger. All of it. The entire code of Photoshop in here. Yeah.
Okay.
But when it comes to the code part, I'm completely useless. My brain just doesn't work properly.
Yeah, I know my brain doesn't work properly for coding, because I tried to learn Visual Basic, but that was maybe like 5 years ago. I was like, right, I want to learn Visual Basic. I have a friend, he made like an MMO or something, like 15 people at a time could play it, and it was a lot of fun, Anyway, I digress. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna learn to code my own video games. So I sat down and I opened up a couple tutorials. I, got Visual Basic running and stuff. Half an hour later, a friend comes into my room and he finds me asleep on my keyboard. The tutorial is still playing. I get up and then I have my keyboard just imprinted on my face, and he was just like...
And the entire document for your code was just B.
Hello world.
Hello world B. Because you were sitting, your nose pressing is the B key, and just...
But yeah, he was like, maybe coding isn't for you. So I was like, you have a point.
Yeah, and then when you watch Bug Smashers...
Yeah, some people just...
And he's going through all that 5 million mile long files of all the code, and you just... Sure.
Yeah. It's like people say mathematics is like a language. I mean, you have to just sit down and learn it. You can't learn French in a day. I couldn't expect to learn Visual Basic in like a week or something.
No, but still, you need to have a sort of understanding of how code works. And that just doesn't click in my brain.
I think maybe they should just teach it to kids, when they're young.
When they're young. I think that time passed, because right now everything is, the kids expect everything to just work, everything computer related.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like with languages. You can get a kid who's bilingual or trilingual by the age of 6. Why not make a coding language one of those languages, Because end of the day, it'll help them in the future with stuff.
It's like the Swiss. They know German, Italian, French, and why not C++ as well?
Exactly. Yeah. Anyway, welcome to the Fortnightly Frontier, where sometimes we talk about Star Citizen.
Sometimes, but not all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes we talk about stupid things like coding.
Yeah, or beer.
When neither of us knows how to code, and then we just talk about coding. Because it's like people who watch sports and they get mad at all those professional athletes who have spent their entire lives honing their bodies and minds to become the best at what they do. And then you have, Rick from accounting sitting on the couch, drinking beer and eating nachos, and yelling at those people for, "What are you doing, you stupid idiot?"
Yes, it's quite like that. I'm sure there's at least one person here in chat who's saying, "What are you talking about, you stupid idiot?" Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, back
Development has slowed down a bit, hasn't it?
in
At
the
least
game.
the game, yeah.
Yeah.
At least of what we see, they gave us the Freelancer, and they gave us the Vanguard, and
Yeah.
then it stopped.
The,
The gifts stopped coming,
the gifts.
and we're sad.
Well, the Vanguard is only a gift, 2 weeks or so of age, right? So the next gift is soon. I mean, I do recall reading that the next thing, the big thing for us in the baby PU is going to be freighting and stuff like that, because currently all the missions are combat oriented, therefore the single ships and stuff like that, and it's it's fun, but that's not what everybody is signed up for the game to do.
But do you think that they'll open up the entire star system?
Eventually.
Well, eventually,
yeah.
yeah. But I mean, for this freight system, or are they going to still keep just Crusader?
I think for now it'll probably
now,
just be
yeah.
Crusader. Maybe when they open up, I can't remember what the name of that place is now. There are 3 planets, or 4 even.
Yeah. Arcorp, Stanton, Microtech, and there's a 4th one.
Yes, and that 4th one is the one I couldn't remember the name of. And that's the one with the snow base and stuff like that.
That's Microtech.
Is that Microtech?
Yeah, that's Microtech, yeah.
You sure?
To the star map!
To the star map, okay.
Well, I'm gonna leave that to you because you have the faster computer.
Okay. Alright, to the star map. Let's see.
To the star map, yeah. Stream the star map.
I shall stream the star map.
Woohoo!
Woohoo.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
We'll do it live. Okay, I know just the thing to do. Alright, like this. And then I hit this button. Oops, I always hit the wrong button. There we go. Alright.
See, that's why I told you have a post-it note on your computer with all the keys and telling you what they do.
I should just hit a key that says, like, I should just pull out my F12 key, because I always do that. Alright, so explore the star map. Okay, so we wanted to go to, what was that system called again? Stanton. Stanton, where the heck is Stanton?
Something I never checked. How far is Stanton from Earth?
From Sol. Okay.
Sol.
Well, Sol is... Jeez. Okay, I'm gonna have to throw up the 2D map. I see Sol. Sol's in the center, as it should be.
It
Whoa.
has search.
Why did it spin around? It does have search, but I don't know where it is.
It's like the
yes.
magnifying glass icon.
I found it. Derp. Okay, I found it. Okay, so we wanted to go to Stanton.
Yes.
Alright, so okay, so click on that. There it is. Okay. Alright, so the planets are ArcCorp. We have the Iron Halo asteroid belt. We have Hurston, that's the name of the planet. Yeah,
yes.
Hurst, and Microtech.
Yeah, all the other ones kind of have sort of connotations to English words, like Arc and Corp and Crusader and Microtech, and then there's Hurston, which is basically just bleh.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Hurston...
That's why you forget it.
Yeah. Hurston is a wealth of ore and other resources that are mined on Hurston Dynamics to manufacture the company's line of munitions and weapons. Heavy industry has resulted in severe pollution across the planet. Okay. But it's a habitable planet.
I see.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's another thing. When do you think we'll get planetary landings?
Planetary landings, I know this one. Soon.
Yeah. A parallel, if you will allow me. I just watched a video by Scott Manley, and he went to, like, what is it? I have no idea what it's called. But there are alien artifacts that you can find in Elite Dangerous now.
Right.
And if you get those alien artifacts to, if you pull them into your cargo hold, they'll start messing with your electronics.
Okay.
And if you have them in your cargo hold long enough, your ship will fall apart.
Right.
But then you can, get them to a space station, offload them, and those artifacts will start messing with the space station.
Very Dead Space-like then. but okay.
Yeah, well, it's still sort of just meta kind of like just it's working or it's not working.
Right.
There's no actual infestation or something like
Okay,
that. But
right.
even if you're playing in single player mode, if somebody gets those artifacts in multiplayer and gets them on a station and they start doing their work and take the station down, even in single player, the station goes offline.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's something that I didn't expect Elite Dangerous to actually have, which is aliens.
Well, I mean, the universe is very big, and eventually you're gonna have to see some aliens somewhere.
Yeah, I know, but Elite Dangerous is a very shallow game.
Well, it is, but that's only because of the way that they've released it. People give it a lot of bad rep, but...
They released it far too soon. Then again, they didn't get nearly as much funding as Star Citizen did, and they needed to release it.
Exactly. Without the traction that SC got, it would have been released a long time ago, and it would just it'd probably just be arena. In a way, it might even have more features than it does now. It would just be like really low res, low poly, and it would be forgotten in a couple of months.
Yeah.
But
I'm so glad that Star Citizen has actually managed to raise so much money for development.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'd be more glad if they gave me some of that, but you know. I'd be more glad if they gave me some of that money, but you know.
You know, if I hadn't spent this much money on Star Citizen, do you know what I'd be able to afford?
Well, people say that. I mean, I've managed to not spend too much money on the game, as much as I want the game to come out.
Then again, it's money that I know that I can spend, and I would have spent it anyway on other things.
Well, I mean,
on other useless things.
People,
I'm sorry, I'm not saying Star Citizen is useless.
People use that rationale all the time, right?
Yeah.
But I still do this thing like where I have two back accounts, and if there is something that I really, really, really want but don't need, what I'll do is that instead of doing an impulse buy, I'll just impulse transfer that money into another bank account so that it's not available for me to get, and then it'll still feel like I've spent money, but yeah,
it's odd.
I mean, it works, and then then I can always go back to the other bank account and go, wow, look at all that money that I didn't spend. And then I can spend it on something like a graphics card or something a couple of years later.
Well, if just to put it in perspective, if I hadn't spent so much money on Star Citizen, I would be able to run 980 Ti's in SLI.
Yes. Why did you spend so much money on Star Citizen? Why didn't you get 980 SLI and TIs and SLI with an Aurora
and an Aurora?
Exactly.
Yeah. But now I've been to three Gamescoms, a CitizenCon. I've got a bunch of merch, and I have an LTI Carrack, among other things.
Yes.
Speaking of, would you do me the honor of being my first mate on the Carrack?
Your first mate on the Carrack?
Yes.
Oh, you have to buy me dinner first.
Not what I meant. My XO.
XO, okay.
XO,
all right.
Yes.
We'll have some fun, order some NPCs around. I mean, the Carrack's meant to be really big, right?
The Carrack has 6 crew.
6 crew, okay.
But it is twice as large as a Constellation.
Sweet.
Twice the length, twice the height, twice the width. So basically 8 times the size.
Yes. Yeah, of course. Of course I will. We should make YouTube. All right, that's 1-1 now for smacking the microphone. Yeah, we could
for those keeping track.
Yes, for those keeping track, the score is now 1-1. We could easily make YouTube videos and stuff like that. It'd be really easy to do.
Yeah, but I doubt the Carrack's anywhere near production, because it's not in Squadron 42. That's the problem.
Is it not? I see.
No. It's a completely civilian ship.
Okay, when I say YouTube videos, I mean when the actual PU is out.
Yeah.
So,
might not even be YouTube by then.
Yeah, it'd be like Mega Tube or something.
Space Tube.
Space Tube. Reminds me of that comic book, that comic that just showed up on the Star Citizen subreddit. It shows this guy And in fact, I guess the easiest way to do it is probably to just show you on the stream. Yep, hold up. It's that thing. And, okay. Yeah, so... it says, Star Citizen, out now! And then, like, you know, the next panel is the guy is saying, yeah, finally! And then it zooms out. And then zooms out. And he's already a spacefaring human. It's hilarious. Yeah. Alright. I just found that really funny. I cracked up so hard.
Speaking of spacefaring humans, there is a very cool new sci-fi TV show out called The Expanse,
right?
The Expanse,
yeah.
I do love it. 2-1!
2-1. Damn it.
I do love it a lot.
Yeah.
Because of its gritty and sort of physicalized based portrayal of space travel, because it's nowhere near the sort of Star Trek levels or Star Wars levels where you have, you know, anti-grav and inertia dampers and basically moving from one part of space to another is basically just like walking down the street.
Yeah,
in terms of difficulty.
Yeah, I think it focuses more on the gritty aspects of space travel, and it's more real in that way. It's more about, you know...
Star Citizen, the TV show.
Yeah. It's pretty cool, though.
Then again, you know, ships like the Idris, the big city-sized sort of spaceships, are gonna be like that. Are gonna be unlike that because they will have inertial dampeners.
Okay.
And gravity fields. So basically, it will be just like go from A to B, kind of like. I suppose they're gonna justify that by having big ships, or big ships are the only ones that can generate enough power for that sort of thing.
Yeah.
While fighters are still, the pilots get subject to G-force and stuff like that.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, I really like that next on the pipeline, from the latest around the verse, they're looking towards interdiction for quantum travel interdiction. I'm not really sure how that's going to work, because you're going to move so damn fast anyway. How do you interdict somebody going in quantum?
Yeah, I think it's gonna have to only be able. Well, it'll only be possible when you're going from a planet to a planet, because right now we only have the orbit of Crusader. Sorry.
Yeah.
The very close orbit around Crusader, and that's why it only takes a few seconds.
Yeah.
But if you get the calculator out, I'm sure you'll be able to find out that if you take, for instance, the distance between the Sun and Neptune, and try to travel that at 0.2 c, which is not the speed that all ships are going to be traveling. It's the maximum speed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, for instance, a Hull E is not going to travel anywhere near 0.2 c.
But it's still going to be going at quantum, and it's still going to be using quantum
still going to be
fuel.
quantum, but maybe 0.07 c.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So what do you think the fastest quantum traveling ship's going to be then?
Something that's the smallest, I suppose.
Oh yeah, you reckon the smaller ships will be the fastest in quantum?
Yeah, I think it'll be based on mass.
Okay. Mass,
not
size
actual
of the
volume,
engine.
not actual volume, but the mass.
Okay.
Or it could be volume, because you have to create a sort of tunnel, hyperspace tunnel, and that has. But then again, it's a four-dimensional thing. So what does two-dimensional? What do two dimensions mean in four-dimensional space? It's just. Oh, I don't want to talk about it. It's giving me a headache.
I guess there'll be a bottleneck somewhere, because a small ship can only have a small quantum drive.
Yeah. I'm sure there will be some arbitrary value assigned to it where everything is going to be extrapolated from then.
Yeah. The future.
Yeah, the future is now.
The future is soon, TM. It's true. It's so true. It's the sad truth. But all we can do is wait.
That would be a very good T-shirt. Star Citizen. The future is soon. Yeah.
That's gotta be my next stream title.
And you're gonna have to. And you're gonna have me make it for you, aren't you?
Oh, I meant yes. Well, I meant for
you meant the actual,
yeah,
just
the actual
title.
Twitch stream title.
Yeah.
Like Get Wrecked or something like that. It's gonna be the future is soon.
Oh well. I think I should go back to racing because I need about 8,000 more rec for the Vanguard.
Yeah. What I've been doing so far with rec this patch is that I've been trying out all the different guns. Yeah, I only realized, I mean, I'm sure it's old news to some people, but the Sucker Punch guns, basically, with an M50, the M50 has a pretty tiny power core, because it's a pretty tiny ship, yeah? But you can have 2 Sucker Punch guns on them, and they're like laser weapons, and they use a lot of energy. So, you aim at somebody with your little M50, and you're going, Neo! You shoot your Sucker Punches 3 times, pew, 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 engines low. Power low, and you just drift and then hit a rock. It's amazing.
Wow. Okay, I didn't know that. I thought those guns had a sort of capacitor that would let them fire for a certain certain number of times.
Well, they do have like a capacitance, for heat, and like with the smaller guns, you shoot, and eventually they overheat. But what I only just realized is that all energy weapons draw power from the power core in real time. The same way all the maneuvering thrusters maneuver and are calculated in real time. So let's say that your power core has a certain level of energy that's outputting to different things, like your guns, your main thrusters, your shields. If you use like an energy weapon that's just a power horse, like a power hog, yeah, then it's going to drain that energy that's meant to be available for your other systems. So like, your shields, your thrusters, and then you just drift out into space before your power core can refuel everything, and you die.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That is very interesting. See, this is why I relegate such experimentation to other people. I just play. I like to be immersed, but I am not the sort of scientist that would do these things. Especially, I think actually, it's the current holo table that's
that needs to be fixed.
That needs
an
to be
eyesore in more ways than one. But alpha is alpha.
That needs to be replaced.
It needs to be
fixed.
Well.
Because, well, we all have seen the Moby Glass mock-ups for the ship loadouts.
Yeah. It'll be fixed.
And that would be a lot nicer because it's all nicely graphed and annotated and everything. You're not pulling stuff from, as cool and futuristic as that is, it is completely useless.
Yeah.
From a user interface sort of perspective.
Yeah. Back to planets. Somebody asked, do you reckon that for the most part planets will be, to a realistic scale in terms of size? I know that Crusader is realistic. I mean, it's just big enough to be a Jovian planet in terms of size, in terms of how big it is. I think somebody did the calculations. But the moons around Crusader, a physicist on Reddit did once say that only a few people, only a couple of the moons are actually big enough to have that kind of spherical shape,
Yeah. Yola is not.
Yola.
Yella?
Yella.
Sorry.
Wow.
Oh, 420 Yella. Yella is certainly not the size. I think it's somewhere around 1,000 kilometers when you get sort of sphericalization of objects in space. And there are certainly moons that are that size.
Yeah, that size, but not that shape, right? And especially Yella. Yella has a ring of debris.
I think that it's a placeholder.
Yeah.
If you ask me, it's just a placeholder, and if nothing else, I think the science part of Reddit devoted to Star Citizen is gonna make it a placeholder, if nothing else.
Yeah. I mean, Yella is pretty damn tiny. You can go around it relatively fast, but the other planets are much bigger. However, if you go into Port Olisar and you go to the flight deck, where you get your ship from, and you turn to the big bronze carving of the Crusader system, Yella is nowhere.
Stanton system.
Yeah. No.
Oh, the Crusader mini system.
The Crusader is...
Okay, yeah. Crusader and its moons.
Yeah, Crusader, okay, right. Crusader and its moons. Like, Yella is nowhere as small as it is in-game. It's depicted as being much bigger. Then again, Port Olisar as well as huge in that carving, so who knows?
I think that carving is just meant to be like
artistic
representation of reality. But I do agree. I have noticed this before. I noticed this the first time. Well, kind of started thinking about it the first time when they released the Pupil to Planet video, and they said that the planet that one of the things is the little annotations in the video is that the planet is 1,000 kilometers in diameter.
Okay.
That's a very small moon. It's not a planet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a planet if it's not orbiting anything.
True, I suppose. But if we're talking size-wise, planet is huge with an atmosphere, possibly.
Yeah.
Well, Mercury would have an atmosphere, a very tangible atmosphere.
Okay.
If it wasn't so close to the sun, because the sun keeps blowing it away.
Okay. Speaking of real life space and planets, have you heard of Planet X?
Yes,
we might have a new ninth planet.
With a very eccentric orbit.
Yes.
And very big. It's supposed to be like 10 times the size of Earth, and it's supposed to be a rocky planet as well.
That's cool. In more ways than one.
Although considering its eccentricity, I would put my money on it being a rogue planet that was captured by the sun.
Oh yeah?
Not actually a planet that was formed when the solar system was.
Fair
because
enough.
all the planets that were formed share the same plane of the ecliptic, I think it's called? The orbital thing. Which this supposedly does as well. However, they all have a fairly spherical orbit.
Okay.
But this is hugely eccentric.
Right.
By far more than anything of the other planets are showing.
Yeah.
So this is what kind of lends me to believe that it's a rogue planet from another star system that was captured by ours.
Flying on its own, yeah.
Yeah, for millions and millions of years.
Yeah. That's still really cool, though.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Or it could be that Flash Gordon, the movie, was a documentary, and there is this planet X that's moving towards Earth, and it's going to kill everybody.
Yeah, soon, TM.
Soon,
yeah.
Well, anyway, even though there hasn't been much development in Star Citizen in the past 2 weeks, we still managed to bullshit for almost 3/4 of an hour, and I think it's about time that we wrap up for tonight.
Or as Lucy would do.
Yeah, wrap it up.
That was hilarious. You were still like, what?
Yeah. You can tell how long that was because how long ago that was because we haven't done webcams on actual episodes for over a year now.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, you did the intro. I will let you do the outro as well.
Okay. All right. So. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Fortnightly Frontier, Season 3, Episode 2. Thank you so much for watching. I have been Meyer, and this has been...
Darionator.
Darionator. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.